Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to From the Depths, Allies Adrift. And that's actually quite fitting because I'm drifting upwards without any real effort right now. Let me down, stupid game. I don't want to go up anymore. Right, in the last episode, Elysium, or EnterElysium. Can I just call you Elysium?
Or you can call me EE, either one.
EE, oh, that's much easier, actually. Okay, EE worked on the lower part of our fortress, whilst I basically built nerd poles and ugly satellites, or rather, ugly radar dishes. We actually... Well, I suppose it is effective and efficient in terms of resources. We're currently gathering stupid amounts, and EE has built a pretty nice little... Well, it's not really a nerd pole. It's not going up, but it's effectively a nerd pole. Oh, you're adding embellishments. Oh
yeah. Well, we have like so many natural resources.
It is true.
And I want a glass corridor. I want one so badly.
Oh, all right then, you can have one. Now,
Yay.
I think probably one of the first things we want to do, and I love the fact that we can both build on the same structure. That was something I was actually worried about. We can both build on the same structure. In terms of metal, how are we doing?
Up to 50,000.
Okay, metal cladding for the support struts it is then.
I think that is an excellent idea because I do not fancy losing like everything.
Right, going for the fleet main colors. Now, this is going to look really interesting because we both see different colors.
Yeah.
Locally, it picks the colors that each client has set for their like fleet trim and all of that kind of jazz. So
it also does that with the flag. If you like look on the map mode, I see my flag and you see yours.
Yes, that is very true. There we go, and back down here.
I kind of like what that says about this alliance. Like, we both think we're in charge of the alliance, but really...
No one's in charge.
No one's in charge.
It all depends on who you talk to. If you talk to the game, which is basically our impartial observer, it'll just tell us what we want to hear. It's pretty true of life in general, actually, when you think about it. Right, okay. Have we actually got any... Oh, we don't actually have any fuel tanks down here, do we?
Oh, I should probably put a fuel converter down.
Yes, we should. It's just that it's got so many fuel tanks, it doesn't use much fuel, which is the only saving grace that it's got at the moment.
There we go. Okay, I'll put a fuel tank down in a second. Are fuel tanks actually explosive?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
So
not very explosive, but they are explosive. Not quite as much as black powder, for example, which is what I assume is... Oh, we've run out of metal!
I'm not using it.
No, I am. I'm cladding this whole thing in a metal shell just to try and reduce the potential tragedy of losing the entire top or bottom because it gets disconnected.
That's probably a very good idea. We'll need more poles as well eventually.
I really considered using stone, but I thought, well, we've got enough metal. It'll be fine.
And stone is like single blocks. That would be 4 times the number of blocks.
Okay, yes. The real reason is because I'm bloody lazy. All right, I'm jeopardizing the fort because I am lazy. You saw right through me.
Okay, I'm going to put down a little room for like the fuel and the fuel converter and some like resource like scrap things, what they call spare crates. Spare crates.
Ah, that's a good idea actually. Right, I'm going to build down another wooden strut on
Wow, glass is incredibly buoyant.
Good. Really?
Yeah, like I just cut out a window pane and it just shot upwards. You wouldn't think that.
No, I wouldn't actually. Okay, we've got some more struts coming down. We'll have, after this, we'll just have 2 very narrow wooden struts and 1 larger wooden strut, which is clad in metal. Oops. I really hate the way that the train can block things sometimes. That is so frustrating. There we go. Well, that's just going to have to do for now. I'm not actually sure that this would connect to anything anyway. I think it's only the central strut that's actually connected to the terrain at all. So these other wooden ones are just more there for show, really.
So basically, build like a flower around that wooden strut, because if that wooden strut gets hit,
yeah,
it's game over.
Pretty much, yeah. Regular connectors will help us if we can make sure that the thing... Oh, really? Game, come on, work with me here. There we go. If we have...
Work with you? Why would I want to work with you?
Work against me, I guess. If we have regular connections between the central strut and all of the other struts around it, then they'll need to cut through all of the connectors to completely disconnect it, which will help a lot. Oh, I'm loving this corridor you're working on. There's me being practical and you're being artistic.
Well, I really wanted an underwater corridor.
Ah, I love it. Though I noticed that it's made of wood. See, the thing with wood...
I'll replace that center beam with a metal beam.
That would look better, yes. I mean, I'm just worried about how porous wood is, basically. At this sort of depth, I'm not sure this wood would hold up to it.
I don't know, like, it could be, like, pressure treated. And the pressure of the ocean will, you know...
I suppose so. Maybe. Okay, you get a grudging pass for now.
Okay.
However, there's one thing I can't forgive you for.
What did I do?
No lights! This is a corridor without any lights.
Can you attach your lights to a glass block?
I'm not sure you can, but what we could do is we could have lights in the ceiling every now and then. We could just have like a metal block.
Yeah, if we put a metal block in the ceiling and a metal block in the floor, that way it's got 2 metal blocks.
Yeah. Well, we don't actually need a long line of it, though. We can just have an odd metal block, like a certain amount of spaces apart, because a metal block can attach to the side of a glass block.
That's true.
And then you can attach the light fitting to the metal block. So, for example, right here, directly up, boom.
Well, question is, what should we do for airlocks? Because we could use, like, doors and air pumps and
Multiple
do a proper
doors.
airlock.
Yeah.
Or we could use light blocks. Which makes it far easier, but isn't as industrial.
Or awesome.
Yeah.
It's mostly the lack of awesome that I object to.
I think that's a fair.
That's the light fitting.
Fair cop.
Now I have no idea what other colours EE has for his various other things like fleet detail and fleet trim, but I'm going to be going with a gold light fitting there. Perfect.
Is that your secondary colour?
My secondary is... I'll tell you now. Wrong button. Would help if I was in here. My fleet main is black. My fleet secondary is a dark red. Fleet detail is gold. And fleet trim is kind of a steely blue. Actually, I think fleet trim is going to be the better one for this.
My main is blue. My secondary is white. My detail is sort of a darker grey blue. And my trim is black.
There we go. Got a little light. One of, at least.
Yay.
Alright. Right, what are you working on down here now?
This is going to be a fuel and minor resource room.
A fuel and minor resource room? What do you mean?
Like, what they're called, spare crates and stuff.
Oh, right, I see.
Basically, like, really unimportant stuff that doesn't really matter if it gets too blown up.
I really do dislike the fact that at this depth, the ocean is acting like space, and when I jump for a very great distance before it slows down, and I can start falling again. It seems that when I decide to start going up, that's the only direction I'm going in.
So would you say you're going in one direction?
I really wish the fish weren't all dead on this planet so I could command you to pick one up and slap yourself in the face with it.
I think that is the correct response, really. 1, 2,
right, how
3.
are we doing for enemies? Oh, wow. Okay, that radar is just properly kicked in. Previously, when I was looking at the radar, I was like, oh, well, you know, it's okay. I guess it's not really as impressive as I thought it would be. But now after a reload, we can see all the way to the fort at Eriwick.
Okay, I have no idea what you've done upstairs, and I haven't looked at the map. I need to see this. This is ridiculous. Let me just...
I can see all of the zone. I can see the fortress at the resource zone directly to the east of us. And... basically, we can see the 9x9 in the corner, and just a little bit of the one at the top left above that. But what is this? It seems to an arbalest, a tiny house, small house, large house, medium house.
I want a house.
The Deepwater Guard have a fishing village. They actually have a fishing village in Eriwick.
So basically, when we attack and like murder the Deepwater Guard, we're actually attacking a fishing village.
We're attacking fishermen. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Dark Avac thinks it's amazing, but I'm not sure.
They probably won't be able to defend themselves very well.
No. This is a bit of a problem. My honor is at stake, you understand. Right, okay.
Okay, I need to see this. I'm out of build mode. Right.
If you hit M for map and scroll
yeah.
right out, I've never seen that before. I actually really want to go over there. I need a little ship so I can go over there. I'm going to need to make a dinghy.
You will get murdered going through the intervening... Wow, that radar is incredibly effective.
I know. You can see a lot, can't it? Well, if I make something that moves really fast, I may be able to get there in time.
Like a tiny little diddy plane.
Plane... I think that would take far too much time to make. No, I'm going to make a little... Oh, actually, I'm going to start from over here. I'm going to make a little raft.
Give the raft, like, really long-range torpedoes, and that way you can take everyone out. Just engage them at max range. Just have one ridiculous torpedo.
Okay, we could do this. Do you fancy coming
you know
for
what
an
happens,
adventure?
though? If we're creating boats, you know what happens. Have a gun. Make it bigger. Give it some more armor. Okay, it's got ammo. We need more armor.
See, it starts off, I'm just going to make a cheap little dinghy, just, you know, a rubber thing with an engine on the back, and it ends up being a battleship. Yeah, I know how this works with me.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that a lot of my stuff, when I said, yeah, I just want a cheap little raft, they were like, no, Avak, no. No, you need to finish work on the awesome outpost. Don't do this, Avak. They know me too well.
What if we get attacked and you're in a raft and I'm here getting attacked by shrikes and we've got no defenses?
I'll be laughing because I'm in a raft. I'll just be watching from afar, quickly building an AA gun. Very quickly trying to build an AA gun. So
okay, I've replaced that middle beam with metal.
Okay, cool. Talking about that, perhaps we should work on a weapon system. I mean, we've got some stuff down there. Now, unfortunately, because we have no prefabs whatsoever in multiplayer, this is just going to be a case of building everything on the fly. I'm not sure how much of that will be interesting to those watching the video, but we'll start off by including as much of the building as we can. I think because I often get people bemoaning the fact that I haven't included all of the building. So we'll start off with that, but if projects start getting sufficiently large, let's say, then we'll probably do kind of a mix of building on camera and doing a lot of stuff off camera in between episodes.
Yeah. I mean, especially at the beginning, though, when it's shaping the little fortress, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, now if we both build a weapon, we could each build one weapon for one purpose, and then we could check out each other's weapon afterwards.
Check out each other's weapon, really?
That sounded wrong.
That really did. I believe the internet just heard it. EE was propositioning me. Being the gentleman that I am.
I will respect your armament. There we go.
Doesn't sound much better like that, to be fair.
A little bit better.
Tiny little bit.
We could compare barrels? No, that's worse.
Wow, okay. I don't think we want to be getting into this conversation. We're going to be here for hours trying to find a way to say, I want to check out your gun. Without sounding, like you said, I want to check out your gun. You know, it's not going to work.
There is nothing for it. Do you want to do a gun or a missile system or a laser? And I'll do one.
I'm going to work on a cannon.
Oh, and you're going to set it down into the deck.
Yes, I am. You've already noticed my cunning plan.
I had the same cunning plan if you had selected missiles. I was going to go with a cannon and set it down. Okay, what's your cannon going to be? Is it going to be anti-air, anti-ship? Because otherwise I'll do some thumper warheads.
I think I'm going to do anti-air, anti-ship, yes.
Okay, and I'll go specifically anti-air. And then maybe, if I get time, do some torpedoes or something.
Fairly certain that everyone who's watched my Avatar build videos oh no. Well, okay, this fortress is never going to be attacked, or at least it's never going to really seriously see a threat from the Deepwater Guard.
Otherwise known as the anti-Ezra thing.
Yes. It does what it does well.
Yeah.
And what it does is kill things.
Right, where am I going to place this? I need to place it on metal, because otherwise we're going to have some issues when they destroy the bit of wood underneath it.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good call. I really should reinforce this a lot more than I am, but I don't want to use up the metal resources. I'll repair it after the fact and replace all of this with metal later on, I think, would be the best idea for me right now.
Okay. So, new object. This is my personal bugbear, more than mirror lines, is every time I go to place like a turret, I accidentally place a spin block.
Really?
Build the entire turret.
And then realize it's the one part you can't shift replace without breaking everything.
What I have to do is I have to then prefab the turret.
We're not going to have that option anymore.
But yeah, if I screw up here...
Yep.
Yeah. I should not screw up.
Yeah, generally, as a general rule, you should, in all ways, attempt to avoid screwing up.
Why did my thing just turn around?
I do like the addition to turrets, though, in that you can see which direction the turret is pointing. Because there's a little like wooden nose always pointing forward.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm going to set the cannon to control group 2. So you're free to use control group 1.
I mean, mine's specifically an anti-air missile system, so mine should probably not be on 1.
Okay, I'll set the cannon to number 1 then.
Oh, we've built the base facing away from the enemy. Which means that all the turrets are going to default to turned around.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
It's fine. It's just going to look weird.
Yes. Too weird, though. I'll just turn the turret around. I'll just start it facing the other way.
I tried that, and then the turret was just turned around by default.
Really?
Yeah, well, look, my spin block's turning, and I just put it down.
Okay. Turrets usually aren't... No, turrets aren't that bad. Because I've built plenty of ships with turrets at the rear facing backwards.
Oh, I don't know why it's turning around then. Oh, it's turning back now.
You're in control of it. Or I am.
In build mode? You must be in control of it.
Yeah, I could be the one in control of it at the moment. Okay, let's start this again. New object. 360 turret. Precision turret. All of the precisions. Is that facing the right way? It is indeed facing the right way. Fantastic.
Most excellent.
Right, so this is going to be control group 1 then. The primary weapon.
I should probably be 3, and then on like 2 we can have torpedoes or something.
Yeah, sure. Actually, that would be quite nice. Now, what I'm doing on my screen is I found that you can get a lot of bang for buck out of your reloaders if you set them up in a slightly cheeky way by doing something more or less like this. If I build a reloader here, because reloaders will use the neighboring... They're kind of like engines in the way that it counts the connections rather than the physical objects for the effect. So, for example, like reload speed, it cares more about how many connections between a reloader and an ammo box exist, not how many reloaders or how many ammo boxes.
Yeah,
so you
I
can kind of trick it a little bit to have stupid fast reload time.
Well, then, of course, if you do that and have stupid fast reload time shared between different barrels, they will just run out of ammo really fast.
Yeah, so you do need to build quite a lot of ammo for it as well. There's a point where the reload time isn't going to be useful anymore because it can only get so fast. So as long as you've got a lot of ammo, then you should be okay. Damn it, Mirrorline, why? That is going to be something you're going to hear me say a lot. Damn it, Mirrorline, why? And it's not really I'm trying to damn the Mirrorline, I'm damning myself.
It's okay, I have the same problem. The Mirrorline affects us all.
It affects us all equally. Okay, right. That will be enough for now. Let me get right back up to the top. Let's see. How many cannons should I have on this, I wonder?
How many cannons can a...
Well, I guess I'm only going to have one.
Something.
It would be too awkward to set this up for 2. I mean, I could.
I mean, if you're going to set it up for 2, since, you want the symmetrical, pillar going down, you might as well set it up for 4.
Yeah. And then 8, then 16, 32, 60. Where do you draw the line? I mean, it's
64. I think 64 is a good number.
Really? You sure? Because 256 is a pretty attractive number, too.
See, the problem is, you get exponentially more firepower, but you also still have one spin block at the bottom.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. Right, mirror
By the way,
light, go
how
away.
many kinetic kill vehicle warheads do we need?
All of them.
Like, I'm thinking 4, but then I look at 6 and I'm like, 6 is tempting.
I think we need all of them.
All of them, okay.
That is going to be my official response to that one. All of the kinetic kill vehicles. How large of a gun barrel do we need? Let's go for 20. Now, as a general rule, on a fortress you don't need to worry too much about recoil. But one thing you do almost always want to care about is how many motor-driven barrels you've got. You typically need 1-for-1 with the barrel length.
Mm.
And the barrel length is what dictates how accurate and how far the shots are going to go.
And also the maximum damage it can do.
Yes. Right, so currently kinetic damage 255. We've not got the right number of motor-driven barrels. There we go. Basically, the azimuth is 2280. Right, that's right. If you've got an elevation barrel, then the azimuth will be limited to 22. So you always want, if you're going to have an elevation barrel on a turret, you want it to be a turreted one, because the best azimuth the barrel itself will have. So this is the barrel independently can look up and look down by 80 degrees, and it can look left to right by 22 degrees. But because it's on a spin, basically on a turret, it doesn't really matter. It's effectively got a 360 degrees.
Yeah.
It's just the barrel can swivel a little bit faster than the turret itself can turn, so it's still useful. Okay, now, next up, we want gauge increases.
And I want fuel tanks, I guess.
Fuel tanks? Oh, on the actual missiles.
Oh, yeah. Variable thruster. Ramp time of 1.5. And a thrust of 8,000.
We should be good with this, I imagine.
Ah! There we go. Assign all. I pressed escape to go out of a menu, and it took me to the exit menu. I was like, no, I do not want to do that.
No. Generally speaking, that would be bad.
Yes. Yes, it would be. Laser emitter.
I've got far more gauge increases than I possibly need on this thing. I'm being a little bit silly because we've got stupid amounts of resources. Okay. This cannon is growing a little bit. Kinetic damage, 1,473. Reload time, just a little bit over a half a second. Yeah, I like this.
That probably has a range of over 3 kilometers.
Inaccuracy, 0.19. I approve of this very low inaccuracy.
I like it. I like
Recoil, 10,852.
It would be incredibly physically hard if they did, but if they actually modeled physics for recoil and tearing things apart, this wooden raft would.
Yeah. This wooden raft wouldn't, basically.
Yes, this wooden raft wouldn't. That's exactly my feeling.
Right. Now, now the thing with armor piercing and explosive shells is each shell, or rather each ammo box, will, roughly speaking, give you 1 shell every 5 seconds. But each one you add has a slightly diminished effect on that. So you can't be too precise. But the thing with explosive shells, explosive boxes, is they'll continue to increase the explosive power of the shell and also the explosive radius of it. Likewise with armor piercing, after a certain point you've got the maximum armor piercing you want, but then you want to add a couple more to make sure that every shell you fire is also armor piercing. Generally, you can be very precise about this, or you can be very, very lazy. Also, we haven't built a crystal. Oh no, that's so bad. We've forgotten something really important.
Okay, I've got 105 crystal. I'm going to dive below and put down a crystal farm.
Okay. That would be awesome because we're going to need that simply for the AI, if nothing else. Oh man, we forgot crystal. Of all the things to forget. How could we do this?
It's fine. We've got 105 to play with. That should get us a good return-ish.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Now, with the crystal farms, basically each tray can handle, I think it's 20 crystal at max. So you're going to want 5 growth trays on that. There we go. Now
0 resources crystal.
What I'm doing at the moment is I'm just setting up the supports so I can just have rings and rings of ammo attached, of ammo boxes attached to this. So it's never going to run out of ammo. Or, well, it will, but it would have to be fighting for a long time. Basically, I play with the ammo capacity of my turrets in From the Depths the same way as I play with my capacitor in Eve. I plan to be out of the battle faster than 5 minutes. If I'm in the fight for longer than 5 minutes, then something has gone horribly wrong and I'm going to be dead anyway.
Yeah, and that's 5 minutes, like, game time, not 5 minutes actual time, because the lag slows it down. You'll be fighting for, like, half an hour.
Well, yeah, depending on some battles, you might be fighting for longer than half an hour. But yeah, so generally when I'm building a ship loader in Eve, if it's for, like, full running of all my systems and they can last for like 5 minutes, and this is for mission running, that is. I mean, you've got slightly different concerns when you're fighting against players, such as, you know, them capping you out and things like that. But yeah, you need a lot of... You'd have to be in a very weird situation. And it's exactly the same From the Depths. If you're in a fight for more than 5 minutes, shooting full power, it's like, yeah, there's something wrong. They're very heavily defended. You're probably not going to be able to defeat them using just this cannon. Okay, we're up to 122 crystals. How's it going down there?
I have the ability to have 300 crystals down there.
Fantastic. It's going to take us a little while to build up to that. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we should have done that a little while ago.
That should have been like almost first thing.
Yeah. And yet, I always forget about it. Almost every time I play, I forget to prioritize getting crystal farm going as soon as possible.
Well, you live and learn, or live and forget.
Yes, I was going to say, the learning part of that, no.
No.
Unfortunately, I wish it were true, but
You live in the
alas.
comments section, chides you for it.
Yes. Ah, my subs are not very forgiving of my derps in From the Depths. Actually, well, I'm lying. Of course they're forgiving. They're still watching my videos.
Yeah, the ones that aren't forgiving just aren't there anymore.
Yes.
Okay, I've created a monstrosity.
I
it's
don't know.
horrific.
This thing is pretty monstrous. I've got to be
Okay,
honest.
yours is definitely a monstrosity.
Currently, 38,800 ammo in 194 boxes.
How long will that last?
Uses 57 ammo every 0.57 seconds. That's an interesting coincidence. One might think I almost planned it. Right, so it can fire basically, we'll just say it can fire twice a second. At 57 ammo, that would be 120 times a minute. Wow, okay. So it could fire... It could fire for several minutes just off this ammo alone. Yeah, it can fire for a long, long time. At least like 5 minutes of constant firing off its internal ammo stores. And as long as the ammo is being replenished and made more down at the bottom, that'll also be refilling it as it's firing.
Yeah.
So this has probably got like, you know, upwards of 7 or 8 minutes worth of constant combat. Now, how are we doing with crystals? We're up to 160. Okay, well, I can't build any more on this until we've got more crystals. So instead, let's start armoring this thing because it's going to need a lot.
Okay, well, my thing's ready to go except for the fact it needs a wireless AI to be plugged in somewhere.
You don't need a wireless one. Build a custom one just to attach to it. I find that so much more useful because if one AI is taken out, the only thing that stops firing is that one particular weapon system.
Can you actually build an AI attached to a turret?
No, unfortunately, you can't build the AI mainframe on the turret, alas. But I just build it underneath the spin blocks.
Oh, okay. Would it actually have control of the missile system, though?
Yeah, if it can reach the turret, I believe it controls everything. Yep.
Interesting. So I can get rid of my wireless cards now. Damn you.
What?
Goodbye. Wireless turret type thing I've put in here.
Oh, poor old wireless turret.
I know.
Never appreciated.
Hup.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
And they would have lovely little turret children.
I don't know. Have you seen that turret?
It's majestic. It's just unloved. It's like the ugly duckling.
It'll probably continue being unloved.
Until some shrikes come along, and then it's going to get all the glory.
Possibly, yes. No one likes shrikes.
Not even drakes. Drake's like the bastard stepchild to the.
Oh, this is all kinds of messed up here. There we go. That's a bit better.
AI mainframe. Left, right card. I would
Okay.
like a boop. And
Well, we are probably going to have to wrap this episode up there. It has gone on far too long. We've gotten massively engrossed in our buildings, and this turret is actually remarkably majestic. I like it. I like it a lot.
my thing is now working.
Oh, fantastic. We've got at least some defenses. Mine is a little way off that. I need to build the enormous metal shell that's going to protect it, and then a metal shell around its innards, which will protect those. And then finally, I've got to give it an AI, so it's a little ways off being functional yet. But hopefully, once it is functional, it is going to be rather impressive. That is my hope and, in fact, my dream. But that's going to be it for us. So, say goodbye, EnterElysium.
Stay shiny.
And from myself, and as always, do take care.